Well, we had a really good 2013 campaign, and it was a kind of a neat deal because we had 4 seniors that had been with us and for the most part started their entire careers, and so it was fun to have a real good year and be that close to advancing, and all year we were about 1 win away from getting into being regionally ranked and being in the NCAA tournament. So it was fun being that close and having those seniors help get us there, but all off season we've kind of talked about how much it hurt to not get it, and so and how it felt to come up just a little bit short. So I think we really had an aggressive spring, and it's been fun to get in the gym and watch the expectations raise. Well, yeah, it was a great match. I mean, from just a volleyball standpoint, it was a great match because both teams consistently strung together small runs, and then the other team would counter and answer and go on their own run. And so it was a fun volleyball match, and it was a fun environment to be in. And you as a senior, you want to swing as hard as you can in your last at bat or your last opportunity to compete. And I think our seniors did that. They went out of there and said, "Boy, if I could have done anything more, I would have done it." And they did a good job of going out and making sure that they gave everything they had at the end there. But we had our chances to win and in a couple different situations and just came up a little bit short, and that's okay. That's a great team, and they went on to be in the Final Four. And I think we pushed them as far as anybody did all year, and we've got to use that and figure out how to get better from that. Well, I think the big headliner there, Amy Duvall, she transferred in from University of Texas Arlington and was an All-American this year. She didn't transfer as an All-American; she was an All-American this year. And we'll be looking for her to provide a lot of offense, a lot of ball control, and I think she's ready. I think she had a good year, and I think she saw some areas that she can get better, and she's been working on those. And hopefully, come next fall, she'll be ready to go and ready to take us to the next level. But she's got the ability to be one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league. She's just got to go out and make sure she has a good summer and then be ready to do it in the fall. Well, you hope you get lucky to some degree. We've done we knew we were going to lose Jordan, obviously, and so we were very active in the recruiting trail, and we've got several kids that can come in and set, but we've got 3 players that we think are ready to step in and be a setter at the college level, and so we've got the players to do it. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not they pick up on the college game as quickly as they need to, because our program is significantly different than when Jordan came in, and so I think the expectations are higher, and a lot of that's because of Jordan. We're significantly more competitive, and other teams want to beat us more than they wanted to beat us back then. So it'll be a good opportunity for any of these setters coming in to jump up and say, "Hey, I want to be the team that takes us to another level." Well, I think from a recruiting standpoint, our staff has done a real good job of going out and filling holes that we knew we had and trying to get better in some other areas. And I think the fun thing has been we've done it with freshmen, we've done it with junior college, and we've done it with other 4-year transfers. And so the good news is we've got a lot of talent coming in, and the bad news is we got to figure out how to pull everything together real fast. And part of that is, we can't come in as early as we used to. So we've lost a whole week of preseason, and so we only have 6 days of 2-a-day practices before school starts. And that creates some problems, but that everybody's in that same boat. We're just one of the only teams that are going to have 10+ players coming in, new players coming in, and so we've got to figure out how to get everybody on the same page real fast. A big challenge for us because of that is going to be our first 2 weekends. We're going to have 2 great tournaments. We're going up to West Texas, and we're playing several of the top-ranked teams from the RMAC, who's also in our region. And then the following weekend, we have a home tournament here in Commerce, And we've got 6 teams in that tournament. 4 of them were in the national tournament last year, and all 6 teams had 20-plus wins. So all the teams coming to our tournament are going to be highly competitive, and they're important matches for everybody. And then by the, I guess bad luck, good luck, I don't know, whatever. In between there, we get to go to Tarleton State and play our first conference match of the year. And so our first 9 matches are going to be really intense, really high level, but hopefully that'll help us as the season goes on. And and that being said, the schedule doesn't get much easier after that. So it's going to be incredibly difficult. Next year is probably going to be the toughest year in the Lone Star since I've been in this conference. Through recruiting, every team's gotten better, and I think the league was pretty good to begin with. And so it's going to be a real struggle all year. But at the same time, those are some of the funner seasons when you can sit there and look and go, boy, we just never get a night off. But then again, you're going to be competitive every night, and that's a lot more fun. And so we're real excited about all those things kind of coming together and looking forward to that. Well, I think all of our junior college players are going to be. We brought them in to have an impact, and that's what junior college players do. So I would look at all 3 of them coming in to be able to take us to the next level. So we've got 3 junior college players coming in that are going to we need them to have a big impact, and we've expressed that to them, and they know the expectations and they know where we're trying to get. So I would look for those guys, I think, to come in and have a big impact. As far as freshmen go, you're never really sure, who's going to end up taking and who's going to get it done for you. But I think, I think Courtney Tate is a setter out of the Houston area, incredibly talented, very competitive, great decision maker. Got Katie Engel out of Allen, Texas, who's another great setter, great volleyball IQ. And the nice thing about both of them is they can both play right side. And so when you've got setters that can also hit, that gives you some options and allows you to spread some things out. We've got another couple other hitters. We got Chastity Hill out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area from Grand Prairie. She's a very gifted hitter, super athlete, has played at a high level her whole career. Amanda Corsi is another outside hitter out of Houston. Same thing. She's played in the top clubs in Houston forever and gets it done at a high level. So we're real excited about those guys. And then we've got another whole group of freshmen besides those guys that we're expecting to bring in. We're not bringing in anybody that we're looking at going, well, in a year or 2 she'll be ready, because we expect all of them to, and that's the mindset. And as I'm thinking about all the other freshmen, Chantel Norton's another one of them. We expect her to come in and have an impact right away next year. Lacey Jessup, Logan Talley. We've got a whole list of new players, and we're expecting all of them to come in and have a major contribution. And anything short of that, will be a little bit disappointing. But we're excited to get them all in the gym and start putting the pieces together and see. And the goal with our staff all along wasn't to rebuild. We don't want to have a rebuilding year. We want to retool and move on. And so the bar was set, and any recruit that fell below that bar, we just weren't able to take them on the team. And so everybody we've got in is at a level where we feel like they should be playing. They could have played on this last year's team, and then moving forward are going to get better. So it'll be exciting to get to know all those players for our fans and to get in the gym and see those guys and kind of see what types of things they're going to bring to the court. Well, I've said it a couple of different occasions. This is Sarah Carthell's the first full-time assistant that our program's ever had. We were the last Division II in Texas to get a full-time assistant, and so to be able to go from nothing to being able to get a coach of Sarah's caliber, it's not realistic, but it happened. So we're very blessed, and it's just such a different mentality when you're recruiting. And when you're able to, as a coach, it used to be I'd have to go see 50 courts by myself, and I would have to time it up right and be running all over the gym. And by the end of the day, you look manicked and tired and disheveled, and now it's real easy because there's three of us, myself, Sarah, and Morgan, and we're able to go and spend some time on courts and really get better evaluations out of players than we have in the past, and so that's been great. From a training standpoint, she's brought the level of play up in our gym. The expectations are higher. All those things are really a tribute to her and her experience. In this past season, or this past spring, actually, she was inducted into the Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame, and that was a real great honor for her, and I know she was real proud, and real proud of her. The girls were all real happy, and she's a very humble person and didn't really talk a whole lot about it, but, the girls got it out of her eventually, and so they were real happy for her, and we were too, and it was a real honor, and she's done a little bit of everything in terms of the world of volleyball, and she's probably the most accomplished coach we've ever had on staff, and so it's real exciting to be around her and to have those things. And then, being able to keep Morgan Moeller around for a couple more years after her playing career was over has been real important, and it's been important for a couple of reasons. One, I think it helps to recruit when you've got an alumni on staff, because when those parents and those players come in on their visits, they inevitably end up one-on-one with Morgan, and they can look at her and go, hey, what's it been like the last 5 years? And she's got a great point of reference. And that's been helpful. And then just having her in the gym and being able to help with training, jumping in drills. As a player, she did a little bit of everything, and now as a coach, she gets to do a little bit of everything. So it's been great having her around, and just incredibly invaluable. And then in the recruiting standpoint, too, she's able to have a little bit, she's closer to her playing career than Sarah and I are to ours, and so she's able to look at players a little bit differently than we are and say, first and foremost, would that person be fun to play with? And so that's been important for us. But I think the thing that I enjoy the most is that our staff really we just gel real well, and we know what each other is doing is important and valuable, and so we support each other really, really well, and there's never any sort of well, you go and do that, and then hopefully it works. I mean, we want each other to be successful and want what each of us are bringing to the table to be good, so we make sure that we support each other really well.